This is the 71 VW bus that
Campmobile.
Campmobile. This has been owned by the same owner for 50 years.
51 years.
51 years. Here he is here. He bought this new. We'll have him tell the story on it. So what was the? So you bought this when you were 19?
18.
18.
Yeah, 18. Just out of high school. And back then, you know, VW Campmobiles were on allocation. You couldn't get them.
Yeah.
And you had to be there physically to put a deposit on it and sign the paperwork. They wouldn't take your name. They wouldn't call you. You had to be there.
That's cool. That's
And,
funny. It's like the Broncos right now.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And they essentially would, would sign you up, but they wouldn't bother to call you. They wouldn't, they just, they only got so many of them, and first come, first serve. It was from Hickox Motors in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, cool. So didn't you say you originally went there? You had one. There was one there you wanted, and you lost it. It was a red one.
A red 70 that came in that I saw it, so I went in. They said that it had been sold, and then this was in October, so they were switching to the 71s that had the disc brakes and the dual port engines.
Well, it's a good choice.
And so one came in without the pop-up, a white one, and I missed that one. And I happened to be driving by, and I saw this one on the truck, on the big, transport. So I went in, and I only had 25 bucks on me. And the guy says, "Well, we like to get $100." And I said, "Well, this is all I have."
So it was 1970. I mean, how much?
1970, right? I was a kid. And so they took my. I had this really, really ratty '63. MGB, and they took that in trade. I think they gave me 800 bucks for it or something. And I came down a few nights later, and I had to get a loan, and my parents had to co-sign for the loan, and I was able to pick this thing up on October 15th, 1970.
Almost exactly 51 years.
Yeah, well, a little bit.
A little after.
Right
it
now.
might have been closer if we didn't have. Some issues, but we won't talk about that. Yeah, we just finished servicing the engine, did a complete reseal, and then we had there was a little bit of damage on the front. We won't talk about that.
Yep.
But it came out really nice.
But you went through the entire vehicle, and
yeah, he hasn't.
This is what you do, It's hard to find an air-cooled specialist in New Hampshire, period.
Yeah, I don't think there's many left.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not. Most of the people that worked on these things, knew long since retired or probably pushing up daisies, but more likely actually. And
what was the story with it? Didn't the owner of the dealership? Was mad about the MG you traded in?
Yeah, the MG that I traded, it was really held together with duct tape and baling wire. And the guy who did the allowance, the guy's name was Al Lynch. I remember him. He's a really nice guy, and he's the one who took made the exception for the $25, instead of $100, and. So after I traded the car in, a couple days later, I get a call from the owner, Victor Hickox, and he said that he was unhappy with the deal and that he wanted to cancel it. And so I said, I was just a kid back then.
At this point, you already had the vehicle.
Yeah, I already had the vehicle.
Yeah.
They had the check. I got the title. So I didn't know what to say. So. He said, "Well, when are you going to bring when are you going to bring?" I said, "Okay, I'll bring it back." And he said, "Well, when you coming?" I said, "Tonight." So in the meantime, I went to my dad. I said, "What's the deal with this?" He said, "Just forget about it." And I never heard from him again. And it kind of adds insult to injury. Hickox Motors was abutted kind of like a little forest area, And they had the MG stashed way in the back, and somebody came and broke into the MG and took all the took the seats and took the gauges and the steering wheel and
He really lost out.
yeah. So I don't know what happened to
I'm
him.
sure that didn't put him out of business. Yeah.
Never, you know, there was never any. I took it back there for service, and you know, then they never even mentioned it to me. It was kind of like they forgot about it or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's good to forget
So,
about that.
they were good to me. The service department was good to me, but I never went looking for Victor Hickox until.
Oh, hey, wait. Yeah. That's funny. The other thing too wasn't this only has what, 58,000 miles?
I think it's 59.
59,000
or
miles.
60, yeah.
Yeah. So what was the longest trip you took it on?
I went to school in Memphis, Tennessee, and
Yeah.
I drove it down there and back basically. But
Yeah.
most of the time, it's just been around here. It's just been around New Hampshire, you know, between. You know, I always had another car. I always had I had a '63 Beetle when I bought this,
Nice.
and this, you know, it's kind of slow.
Yeah, it's not quick.
Doesn't have a lot of power, just, you know, on hills and whatnot. I used to not go faster than 55 because of the, you know, because it just wasn't a real fast car, and needless to say. But I just, between school and work and this and that, and the last few years I've had trouble with it, you know, getting it to run, you know,
Yeah.
really nice like it used to, and that's why you came into the picture.
I hope it runs as good as new. It seemed like it when I was driving it.
Yeah, well, I think you've done a good job.
Thank you.
And,
Yeah.
you know, like I say, it's difficult finding air-cooled guys around
Yeah.
here. They're just,
I enjoyed working on it. I think it's great you owned it as long as you have, and not many of those left out there, you know.
yeah, and I've tried to, you know, do right by it. I've tried to, you know.
Yeah,
It's
been
never wanted for anything. And, you know, the only thing that it's wanted for is somebody that knew what they were doing, working on it. Quite frankly.
yeah. So, yeah, cool. Oh, I love it. I hope I continue to work on it. Maybe, hopefully, it doesn't need anything after this, though.
Well, hopefully, this is going to be the.
Because you said you just put more into it now than you did when what you actually paid for it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to remind me of that.
Well, I said to you, well, I put a new carburetor on it, and the carburetor was what, 1/10 of the cost of the original vehicle?
Right.
Yeah. So, you just wondered how they did it back then. How did they, you know, how was it that they could build a carburetor that cheap and build a whole vehicle for, what was it,
I think it was 3,800.
3,800.
Yeah.
I have a copy of the receipt and everything inside. I'll show you. He got me a copy of it. I'll show you that a little later. But we'll do a quick walk around of the vehicle, and he wants to get out of here. But nice. It's not original paint. It was painted once. How long ago did you paint it?
Probably about 10 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, it's held up well.
Time is fleeting, you know. It's, you know, it's.
Yeah, it's a nice bus. Really solid bus. Probably one of the most solid New England buses I've ever had in here. In New England, we get the salt.
Think it's from California.
Yeah, I mean, underneath, I was really surprised. The only thing is that gooey, greasy stuff.
The Z-Bar.
The Z-Bar is
rust-proof.
pretty sticky.
I mean, that stuff wasn't cheap to have.
Yeah, there's not even a ding in this thing.
I hope not.
Well, there she is, and I'll pop the door, and we can.
It's pretty original. It's really,
I think everything's original in it, isn't it? Nice bus.
original curtains.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They are, right?
Yeah, they are. Nothing not a little bit worse for the wear, but
Yeah, it's a beautiful bus. Even the headliner's all original in this. Everything. Great bus. Well, thanks for letting me work on it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. All right. Well, let's hope it makes it home.
I'll do my best. If not, I know where to take it to.
Well, we know the Toyota will make it.
Yeah, that's true. I have towing insurance too, so that's all.
All right, just don't tow it back. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well, I think we're gonna end it here, and I'll show you guys the paperwork that we have on it. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All
You're
right.
welcome, and thank you, Justin.
Yeah, no problem. I love it.